Cheers to a new day. It's your girl. It's Elayna. I'm your evolution coach. I'm here to help you overcome challenges like a champion. I'm still trying to figure out which term really resonates with folks. Hey, thank God for people. I appreciate y'all for being here. Um, the thing that matters most to me are the precious souls that are watching right now, whether you're watching on replay, whether you're watching live. I'm so happy that you're here because obviously there's something going on in your life around the realm of connection. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about today because I try to just be led. If you're new to me, I am an oracle. I channel messages. And when I get these messages from God, they're usually not just for me. And so that's the joy of me having Infold Studios, because it is a space where I can do intuitive nurturing. I'm here to be a facilitator and to support you in your remembering, because there is so much precious information inside of your DNA. And I'm just here to share information and energy and inspiration to help remind you and unlock more of your abilities so we can be, teaching each other. It's so wonderful to have more folks join. I hope it's Eli. I hope I said it correctly. Love, Amor. We had love step into the room. That's what we're going to focus on. Yes. Okay. We love a little. I just got like a little heart. Oh, I totally meant to have the YouTube going too. I'm going to have start doing the YouTube tomorrow, because we already got a flow going. So first off, for this time, since there's folks here, I'm curious if you have any questions about connection that you would like for me to speak about. And you can say off camera, or you can choose if you want to join the live. But yeah, just wanted to know first off, since you're here, is there anything on your mind that's connected to connection? Mm, 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 mm. Make my own little music. Mm, 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 mm. And if there's not, you can just say, no, nothing today. Hello, Mama with Heart. Welcome, welcome. We are talking about connection today. Well, go ahead and think about if there's anything on your mind, any questions about connection that you have. Oh, looks like I just got a request. Okay, Mama with Heart. I don't know if it's working. Oh, is that Laura? That's Laura. I don't know why. This is my first time trying to have people accept and join in. And I hit accept. That is odd. I don't know why. Um, I don't know if you're getting a thing on your side, but it is not letting. Okay, I'm gonna send you an invite, and maybe that'll work. Well, I just sent you an invite, so we'll see which way. So it's interesting that today is about connection. Oh, it says you're unable to join. Well, please type in. Please type in if you have a question or a thought about connection. It's interesting that we just had a misconnection right there. So I was just talking with Laura about how so many people believe and think that because they have this technology, they're connected. But we're dealing with the most highest suicide rates, people feeling loneliness, feeling isolation. So we know that that's not necessarily true. People aren't feeling more connected these days. And Laura and I were talking about how there's this soul connection, this soul exchange, us allowing ourselves to be vulnerable enough to use our spiritual gifts to share with each other authentically. When we do that, that's when we create the grounds for deep connection and true connection. And we can know this is true because so much of the wisdom teachings that come back from indigenous cultures around the world are founded on being around that community fire, being in connection with people and allowing people to be their full selves. If you don't know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm going to start there. But Maslow's hierarchy of needs talks about all of these different needs that people have. And it is a framework for like how people can feel like, you know, whole people in society. It's like a used mostly by therapists, psychologists, but Maslow himself was inspired by the Blackfoot Nation. The Blackfoot Nation had their own pyramid. In their pyramid, it wasn't you have to have all of these needs met to then be self-actualized. The Blackfoot nation believed that you came into this world self-actualized. When I learned that information, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, this makes so much sense. My connection with who I truly am was there the moment that I was here on earth. So I'm already self-actualized. I'm already my full person. It's just that I'm going to grow and learn, go from being a baby to a child to an adult, and come into more of this knowing of myself. And so imagine what a society was like, what connection was like. When you met someone, you believed that they were already self-actualized. You believed that your role, because their next level was about cultural perpetuity. Was it about cultural perpetuity? Was that the second or the third? They pretty much had a line in the middle where all of those needs that Maslow had, pretty much the Blackfoot Nation believed that it's your community that makes sure that you're fed, that makes sure you have a roof over your head, that makes sure that you're able to stay in your right mind. It's your community. And if we really have people in our lives that we're close to, we've experienced this before. We've experienced the empowerment that happens through community, what the communal connection feels like, and how it's not transactional. It's really about that. We talked about it in our video yesterday, open palm living, freely giving and freely receiving. And so as I'm sharing, there's a few notes. I hope if you're a note taker, you're taking notes down, because these are the keys to true connection in our lives. So first, believing that you're already self-actualized and you're spending your life becoming more of yourself. And in the case of our society, because we have so much conditioning, you're literally unraveling yourself. You're taking off the wrappings, the titles, the expectations, the stereotypes. You're allowing yourself to release those. And sometimes you are ejected and released out of those things. You change relationships, you change organizations you're associated with. And then who are you? And you're trying to understand that. Well, you are a beautiful, amazing being that has a bright, light soul that comes from source. And God, whatever you choose to name source, God, universe, the one, the great I am, and you are divinely connected. And when you allow yourself to believe that and to stand in that more and more, your life will start to shift. You'll be more supported by community. In this past year, that's been the story for my life. I have a great little story about how I don't like to do laundry. I cannot stand, like, I'll wash it, but folding it up and putting it away, ugh, like I can't stand that. And so I told one of my friends, my friend Kay, that's in the video from yesterday, the live from yesterday, and Kay was like, I can help you with that. And I was like, what? And so like we now have this whole, you know, arrangement, and it's beautiful because it's like part cash, part barter. And I'm starting to do more barter relationships in my life. And I'm believing for myself, I'm now realizing, oh wow, like I'm allowing people to leverage their spiritual gifts, whether it's the gifts of help. The woman who did my hair was like, I would love to get some evolution coaching. And I was like, I'd love to get my hair done. And so her gift was doing hair, and I had a coaching session with her last week, and we about to have another one because I want another hairdo. And so much of our worries are sometimes wrapped up in the monetary things. What does it mean if we move our lifestyle away from it running just on money? What if we move to these more ancient ways of being? We've seen it. There's been cultures that stood the test of time for hundreds of years that focused a lot more on bartering and on sharing. What does it mean to create a meal for yourself? And maybe if you have a little bit more extra, you can take it to that friend that you know that's going through a hard time. This is what real connection is. Knowing that your spirit is so valuable and important, allowing yourself to be open in those safe spaces and to be held by your community. Now, the top of their pyramid was cultural perpetuity and the importance of sharing this wisdom, sharing what you're learning. Whenever I think about cultural perpetuity, I think about the book, The Giver. Has anyone that's in the live right now read the book or seen the movie, The Giver? It's one of those YA books. It is slightly dystopian. It's set way off in the future. And so in this book, The Giver, it is all about this young man that has gotten his role in society to receive memories. And if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it if you really enjoy stories that make you think about society a little bit differently and open you up to thinking about maybe your own gifts a little bit, but it's inside of a story. And what I took from the book is that the way that we persist as a people, humans on this earth, is that we mindfully share what we've learned with young people. That is cultural perpetuity. We allow ourselves to share the wisdom, the rituals, the practices, the ways of being, all of these core fundamental things that help us hold reverence for ourselves and for the world. This needs to be passed on to the children. This needs to continue on, because the more we can do the things that keep us human, so whether that's a person that is really good in the garden, they're really good with nature, maybe what you pass on in cultural perpetuity is you decide to do a class with the local Girl Scout troop, and like your niece is a Girl Scout, and you're like, hey, would y'all like to learn how to plant plants? And you find your way to educate, find your way to share. And when you allow yourself to open up with sharing your spiritual gifts in that cultural perpetuity sharing, you're continuing that cycle. Now those children are supported with that information. Maybe the family that those children come from becomes supported with what these children have learned. And now they're able to express and be more of their full selves because they met this amazing individual that loves plants, that was so excitedly sharing with them how to plant these plants and how to do these things, that you planted a seed now in that child's mind that they could be that person too. So, and my goal is to keep these around 15 minutes. So we are at the top of time, but I think I gave y'all a lot to chew on today with this whole idea of connection and some core practices we can bring into our own life to create deeper connections with ourselves, connection with God, connection with community, connection with family, connection with our world. So thank you for everyone that showed up live today. I feel the love. Thank you for the love. Sending you tenfold back to you. And for everyone that's watching on the live, I just truly hope that all of you remind yourselves every day to keep shining, to keep evolving, and to be kind to yourself. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the live. Be well and breathe deep.